On the line now, the Dail TD for Meath, Damien English. Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you think the party's chances are of winning the next election?
I think the party have a great chance to win the next election, and I've made that very clear in my interview yesterday as well. What that story is untrue. I made it very clear. What I was talking about was common sense. The party rules are after the election we will review the situation. I said it very clear that I think Enda Kenny's doing a good job, and that I hope we win the next election. And now when he sees this won't be an issue. Those comments were made in light of all the hassle yesterday over the John Deasy comments, which weren't a whole lot. John Deasy just stated the obvious, that after an election you review the situation. They're the comments I made very clearly yesterday, and I'm disappointed and annoyed over the headline of that story, because there's no story.
Well, you are talking, this is the report in The Independent this morning, you are talking about what would happen if the party doesn't win, and in that situation you're saying what?
What I said was, if the party doesn't win, and I said I had assumed this from 5 years ago when we were picking a party leader, that after an election, you pick your leader for an election, and then as our party rules state, the situation is reviewed then by the parliamentary party. And I said yes, I assume that happens in most parties as well. If the election doesn't go the way you plan it, now we plan to win this, and we hope to win this. I was asked what my comments were if we didn't win it. And I said, if we don't win, then you have to review the situation. I said, I assumed that there will be a contest, because that happens most times, and whoever wants to go forward goes forward. But that's for down the line after any election.
And in that case it should be a younger leader?
Well, yeah, I'm very strong on that. I said that when we do, the next time we decide to pick a leader in Fine Gael, be it 8 months' time, 5 years' time, 6 years' time, whenever we decide that we want to pick a leader, I am very strong that we should have a generational skip. I'm a younger TD, I'm the youngest TD there. I believe in that, and I've said that on many occasions before, that we should have a skip when the time comes.
Why?
Because I just feel that. I mean, I'm a younger TD, and I work closely with all the TDs there. But I believe that it's important that, you know, for the party that we show that we show all our TDs and show that what we have. We have the youngest bunch of TDs there as well, and it's important that we show that out to the public, that we have a mixture of all ages, a good party that can represent the model in Ireland.
Enda Kenny is 55. He's not exactly ancient.
No, I certainly didn't think it was ancient, and I wouldn't like anyone to think that I'm making an ageist comment. Naturally enough, as a young TD,
well, you are making an ageist comment. I mean,
sorry?
you are making an ageist comment. Do you think it should be somebody younger?
Yeah, because I am a member of the younger bunch of TDs, and naturally enough, I'm going to suggest that a member of, as a group that I work closely with should be a leader, because that makes sense. I work closer with the younger generation of the TDs there. They're the ones that I've grown up with and worked with and are closer to, and I would favour, I'd like to see some of them contesting the next one with the leadership contest. I think that's quite okay. I think that we need to have a mixture of that, you know. Sure.
Would it be an asset to the party now to have, if Enda Kenny was 10 years younger or 15 years younger? Given what you said.
No, I don't agree. No. Actually, no. I think Enda Kenny's doing a good job there at the moment. What I was trying to make my point clear yesterday was we have a good bunch of young TDs. We have a good bunch of all ages, and that's a major asset. As an asset, we need to talk up, and we need to talk about more and show out there. We have a good group that cover all generations, because I believe in politics we need to have TDs from each generation and each age bracket as you go along to get proper representation. And I'm very strong on that. And what I said yesterday was, when we pick the next leader, be it 4 years' time, 5 years' time, whenever that is, I would be advocating that we skip to a generational skip and a new bunch of TDs. That's just a personal comment on that.
Would you like...
But I mean, as I said, and I also said at the same time, that whoever wants to go can put their case forward and make their points. I mean, I certainly listen to everyone's case. But this is something that's down the line, and I made that very clear yesterday.
Sure.
I'm quite happy with the situation, and I'm quite happy that we have a good chance to win this election, and I want us to win this election. And then, you know, this will all be down the line. I mean, I was talking in probably 5-10 years' time down the line.
Well, okay, that's if all goes well. But if they don't go well, would it help for Enda Kenny to deal with this now, clear the air and say, look, I hope to win the election, but if I don't, I'm going to resign?
I don't think anything has to that at all. No, I certainly don't think so. I mean, Enda made it very clear a couple of years ago when he was making his pitch for leadership, he wanted to become leader of Fine Gael to help us win the election to become Taoiseach. He made that very clear. Any questions about what happens after that will be dealt with after that. I don't think he has any questions answering that at all. He made it very clear to me and to all of us. He intends to win this election, and that's what he wants to do. And I think we're heading that direction.
Would you go along with John Deasy, who believes that if you don't win the election, there will be a challenge, and do you think there should be a challenge in that situation?
No, that's John's personal comments. What I said yesterday, I tried to add some common sense to that. John was stating the obvious. More than likely, after every election, there will be other people who will be interested, and you might have a contest. What I said yesterday, and what I say again today, is I would assume there would be a contest, because it's politics. People are hungry to get to the top.
Do you think there should be?
I don't think there should be. I think what I said is after the election we should certainly, as a rule state, we have to look at, and that's what I said yesterday. And at that stage, it's up to everybody to make their case, regardless of any outcome of election. Whoever is interested.
Right, a final
that's
point.
What you have at this
final point. You, by the way, were you unhappy with the fact that a running mate was imposed, Graham Geraghty, on you in Meath West?
No, I wasn't happy at all, and I believe that the media. I didn't see the article. I believe that's past comment on. I've no problem with that.
I'm not saying, just asking
the party have a chance.
Okay, final point. Would you accept that by talking about politicians, as I say, don't normally talk about what might happen if they lose, that by joining in this, you're mischief making, you're making trouble for the party and for Enda Kenny in particular?
No, I think bad journalism and bad headlines are doing that. I made a quite simple comment. I'm away in the family holiday. I made a simple comment that what I thought John Deasy was saying was so stately obvious, with common sense. I didn't think that there was any big issue, and I was trying to defuse the thing by saying there's no big deal here. John Deasy made a comment which is in relation to the party rules. It's after the election. Forget about it. Move on. We have an election now for the next 6 months, and John Deasy was very clear in what he said, that he supports Enda Kenny and backs Enda Kenny and wants Enda Kenny to be Taoiseach. I reiterated that yesterday in a comment. I didn't certainly not want to cause trouble. It's very clear what I'm saying here. We were talking about down the line. The journalist asked the question about what happens afterwards. We're dealing with the election. Hopefully will go well for us in the next 6 months.
And we're very grateful to you for talking to you.